What's up, guys? How you doing? It's your crazy Bitcoin friend Tommy Bull here, back with another edition of a weekly update. Guys, if you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like the video and share it with a friend if you find this information valuable. We've been on a huge winning streak for years, and there's 115 subscribers. Fuck, mate, it's a bit of a shame. So today, what I want to mention quickly is that El Salvador is hosting a conference where there's 44 different countries attending, all of their central banks and other financial officials. And basically, guys, what it is, it's about financial inclusion. Now, 44 countries, they're smaller countries, a lot of developing countries, but all they're going to see when Bukele speaks to them is that Bitcoin has already unbanked so many people. The amount of El Salvadorans that downloaded the app and downloaded the El Salvador Bitcoin app and it's now getting used frequently all over El Salvador. It's just massive, and there's a lot of people suddenly get bank accounts. And it's also, I think something else that he's going to mention is that tourism's up 30% in El Salvador since he started doing it. And so it's a way of bringing in tourists, which all these countries could benefit massively from, and it's helping the people in the country get a safe haven store of value. You know, places like Argentina having 170% inflation year on year. Like, where are you supposed to put your money? So we're going to watch these smaller countries just fall like dominoes. And so I've never been more bullish on Bitcoin, but that doesn't just mean price is going to go straight up. So let's do a little bit of a price analysis today, where we're at, where we've been in the past week, where we think we're going to go. So I'm just going to zoom in. Let's go to a different chart and just zoom in and have a look over the past week and try and get an idea of short-term price movements. Jesus Christ, I love my lines, don't I? Let's go 4 hour. All right, so we can see here that we had that huge sell-off, and now we've just formed into this tightening range. You could probably call this a little bit of a descending triangle forming through there, and the price is compressing. We can see the volumes getting lower and lower and lower. So this should spring out one way or the other. Pretty 50-50 on which way I think it's going to spring, but I will show you where I think the price is going to hover in between going forward. And this episode today is about formulating a game plan and then sticking to it. And just to tell a quick little story, or two quick little stories. Back when the price was pumping in 2021, there was moments where, you know, I'd come up with strategies with friends like, hey, okay, when the portfolio gets to this size, why don't you take this much out into cash? You can have some in and have some in cash. And then watching that unfold, when the people would get to that level of cash, they'd go, oh, mate, the market's pumping. Why do I want to take money out right now? And then you look back and the person's just been decimated, right? I've got multiple friends that just didn't take any profit to the top. They moved the goalpost. They wanted it to go further and they got smashed. Now, right now, this is the opposite situation of now we're getting towards a bottom somewhere. And, you know, a month ago when the price was at 40,000, no one was speaking about 20,000s. Only person that I saw speaking about 20,000s was myself. Now we're in the 20,000s and suddenly every single person is talking about teens. 18, 16, 14, and I reckon we're going to go this low. I reckon we're going to 14,000. And it's like, why the fuck have you suddenly changed your mind when 20s wasn't an option when we're at 40 and now we have to go into the teens? We don't have to go into the teens. And so it's so funny seeing people just suddenly shift the goalposts as the price is moving. And it's like, so having a game plan and sticking to it. I had a game plan to when it gets into the 20s, I'm going to start loading up hard. I don't give a shit what the price is going to do. I've been waiting for 20s. Didn't buy in 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s. Now it's time to load up. Again, this isn't financial advice. It's just my opinion. But having a game plan and sticking to it is super important. So what is my game plan going forward? If you haven't, please watch if you scroll down a few videos, Bitcoin price from 2022 to 2025, it'll explain clearly why I've got these lines on the chart. So I'm just going to flick this back to 3-day charts. So each one of these candles represents 3 days. So this is the coronavirus crash. This was the double top in the market. Now, if you've watched 2022, 2025 video, you're going to understand why. These red lines at the bottom, these will be our support lines as we go forward over the next, I'm talking 3 years. You see the price close to these red lines, it's buy time, right? These green lines at the top, you see the price near these green lines, it's sell time. And you never sell everything, because yes, we can get it wrong. Do I think we're going to? No, but we can definitely get it wrong. So when the price gets to these price levels, I'll sell 50%. And I've come to terms with, if I sell 50% and the price just keeps going up, that 50%, it doesn't go back in. One of my rules is when you sell, it is forever profit unless you can get back in lower. So I'm okay with having if I bought it fucking 26,000 and then the price rallies and I get out here at 38,000, it's nearly like a 50% increase. So sick, I did a 50% in a real short period of time with this half of my portfolio. The other half is in there for the long run. So you just be delicate with your trades, because if you sold everything and it kept on going up, when do you get back in? It's a really bad place to be in. So I believe this is going to be our channel for the next 3 years. So where are these lines right now? The bottom of the bottom is, what week are we in there? The bottom of the bottom is at 23,100. So I don't think that we ever close a weekly. I'll switch this to the weekly. So these are weekly candles now. I don't think we ever close a weekly candle below 23,000 ever again. So you got people waiting for teens, 18, 19, fucking 12, 13,000. Mate, you are dreaming, my friend. And then I don't think we ever close. I think that if we were to come straight up now, I don't think we could close a weekly candle above 34.3K now. In a month's time, I don't think we could close a weekly candle above 36.5. Let's have a look at July. End of July. I don't think we could close a weekly candle above 38. Let's get a little bit further down the line now. End of the year, I don't think we could close a weekly candle above 52. So best case scenario, by the end of the year, weekly candle close at 52. And even then, it's like it'll be a rejection off there. We're not just going to sit there and follow this line up. And again, on the flip side, end of the year, at the very bottom, I don't think we can close a weekly candle below 30. So that's the price range, that's the target. And this line's going up pretty fast, right? So then at the end of next year, we shouldn't be able to close a weekly candle below 46. Yeah, mate, crypto takes time. You got to be patient. And just while we're doing those measurements, end of 2023, we said can't close a weekly candle below 46. At the same time, at that moment, we could also be at the high end of this channel, which would mean we couldn't close a weekly candle above 103. So we could be at 103 by the end of next year. So I'm just monitoring this, and it's also something I want to bring to your attention is, if we followed this exact blue line, right? Obviously we're not. But if we follow this exact blue line, that means we could be here in September 2023. And that's still $42,000. Now, granted, that's the lowest we could be by September 2023, and we could be as high as $87,000. But imagine, you panic sold, you bought. Imagine we rallied off here, and then you panic bought in because you saw the price. This is seriously what a lot of people will do. The price starts rallying, and then it gets to like here, and there's like, oh, Bitcoin price is back about 37,000. We're back above 37. Next stop's going to be 45, and then probably 55 after that. That's what everyone's going to be saying. and then you get in at 37, and then that's in July 2022, and then all the way over here in September 2023. So you've been holding that cash for 15 months, and the price is at 42,000. So you've done piss all increase in your portfolio, and you panic sell because you're worried will we get to 42? Because this is seriously a serious option. This would be the equivalent of like the coronavirus one last sharp sell-off before we go into parabolic, right? Just like here, one last sharp sell-off before we go parabolic. Do you know how many people sold this crash and didn't get back in, and they missed that whole run? Poor. So many people panic sold in that coronavirus crash. We were buying in here and rode the entire way to the top. But the point of it is, you got to be like pretty skillful with a plan to make money over the next sort of year and a half, because there's that's a lot of sideways chop. It's a bit of a crab market. You know, best case scenario is you're picking up Bitcoins at like 24,000, and then like a few months later you're selling Bitcoins around 40,000. And so you've done a really solid sort of 85% increase, and then you get back in somewhere down around here when we're back in the red. So you want to keep an eye on these channels. If you don't know how to make them, go watch Bitcoin 2022, 2025. It'll show you exactly where you've got to draw the lines to make them work. I'll just do one quickly for you now. BTC, USD, Bitfinex. So I've literally got them on every single bloody page. It's insane. So actually, you know what? Now that we're on this chart, I'm just going to show you something. If I zoom in on, let's say, the 4-hour chart, so each candle represents 4 hours, we can see that this blue line got drawn in all the way back here from March 22nd, and we've tracked that blue line like a heat seeker straight down into this falling wedge pattern. And then it was the plan was all the way from March 22nd that as we break this bear flag, we're going to drop savagely all the way down here. And you know, depending on which exchange you're in, some of these came down to 24,500. So we did come all the way down to here. So we've followed that line like a heat seeker. So this was expected, and I love clicking onto an old chart that I haven't opened in ages and seeing, oh yeah, shit, yeah, we're boom, bang on. And even back here, the game plan still is, all right, now these yellow lines are the channel that I'm expecting it to be in. Look, in at the bottom, out at the top, in at the bottom, out there. I'm going to follow this the entire way up, and I'm pretty certain that it's going to be the best trading out of any trader that you'll see in YouTube over the next few years. That's for sure. So all I've done is gone from the support line at the start of the rally, and that gives the capitulation spot that we break through, and that eventually marks the top. You have to go watch the video, right? 2022 to 2025. And then the bottom line here is because the bottom line forms this compression area in here, and then that becomes our bottom later, and then we break through that one later, and we use it as the top later. Anyway, it's a lot to try and process, but I'll definitely be keeping you updated. The point I wanted to make today is make a game plan, stick to it, don't get too greedy. I reckon honestly, if you sit there waiting for the teens, you're probably never going to get an entry. So just be careful. If we go into the teens, I do not believe that we'll be there more than a couple of days. And so it's just that's way too much risk for me. I just want to get entries into the market. Guys, again, thanks for watching the video. I love my subscribers. If you've got any comments, put them in the comment section. Bet your ass I'll answer it, because it's probably going to be the only comment. Don't forget to like the video, share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys here next week.